Hello, all my little indigos. So I know it's been a minute since I have posted a video. I have not been feeling very well. I've been under the weather and I traveled for the holidays, so happy belated Thanksgiving. But I wanted to deliver a few messages. So I received my, first of all, this is Indigo Soul Revelations. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video and to trust me with your energy. So let's get started. So I wanted to show you something I came to me in a meditation. So I recently received my Reiki Master certification, which I'm super excited about. And during that process, you do about 4 meditations a day. So while I was meditating, this image came to me during one of the meditations. And so this is my attempt at a triangle, okay? So imagine that this is a conflict, right? A triangle is sharp and pointy, and this one isn't as, but if it were, it would be like this, you know, like sharp and pointy, and it's a conflict, and seems like there's multiple sides to this conflict and it's frustrating, okay? Well, if you change your perspective and instead of seeing something as a difficulty or a conflict, you see it in a more positive way, like instead of saying, like there's this theory that every time you have an incident or a conflict, that it's actually a lesson that makes you whole. So let's make it a circle, right? So in my vision, there was this conflict and it was a triangle, right? Pointy, sharp, very cumbersome, had a lot of different perspectives to it that were all in conflict. But then if you try to change your perspective and say, okay, this is a lesson for me to make me whole, okay? So it makes you whole, which is a circle, right? You know, there are no sharp edges to this, and it's really a lesson to make me a better person, to give me a broader perspective on the world and myself and others. You can change that pointy triangle into something that is more calm, circular, makes you feel whole. And then it was like, not only can you take away the pointedness of the conflict, where there's people just kind of, people or situations, whenever there's a conflict, of course, people or situations pitted against one another where they just want to stand in their corners, right? Like this is, okay, we see each other's perspective, right? And we're able to grow and learn from that and become whole. And instead of being divided in a triangle with these different sharp points, you now become something smooth and circular and unified. And then in the vision, it was like, not only are you gaining greater understanding and becoming more whole in yourself, you are creating, you can create unity based on your differences, right? So then it was like, oh my gosh, you can take this circle and create unity, okay? Infinity symbol. And no matter what kind of conflict you're having in your life, there's always a way to look at it from a different perspective and to allow it to make you whole and to grow and to unify you with others. Because no matter what the difference may be, it is a greater part of the whole. And also is a reminder that you all are unique, but are also always connected. And no matter whether you're near or far away from the person or situation, you are always in unity with yourself and others. And if you look at things from that perspective, instead of what can I gain from this situation, you're reminded that the only way through is together and in unity and in togetherness and in love, and being able to see that the only way to get from the pointed triangle that's creating that division is to create wholeness and unity. And that's how we get to a place of peace and serenity, not only within ourselves, but within others. So I thought this message was super pertinent and wanted to share it with you. Also, I got a few cards today that I thought were really pertinent. And so I'm going to show you them. They are from the Palladium Wisdom Oracle cards. Love this deck. So the first card that got pulled today was Evolution. Change your perception to create a positive solution to the problem at hand, which I thought was extremely pertinent and was like, oh my gosh, hello. And then Evolution, change the world. So when you change yourself, you help to change circumstances in the world. So I'm going to focus on this one, number 5. Here, we'll put it right here. And I'm going to read from the book on this. I recently was listening to Carolyn Myss, and I may be saying her last name wrong. But she was saying, stop wishing for and manifesting like world peace, because that is not based in reality or what's plausible or possible in our lifetime. Instead, wish for and manifest self-healing and allowing ourselves to elevate in our vibration, and that will in essence show other people how to heal and how to elevate in their vibration. So let's read this real quick. You have to change yourself to make changes you want to see in the world. You have the choice to react or respond to any situation. Choosing to respond rather than react always brings a more harmonious resolution to any situation. Acknowledge what you see objectively and stop emotionally reacting. Guess what? This is like a big message for me, but I'm sure that this is resonating with several of you, because I am always in very important relationships. If something doesn't go the way that I think, or I hear something that's really sharp, I immediately go to like that emotional reaction. I am like super quick to cry, and it's not necessarily like that I'm trying to like gain power of the situations, that I'm like super disappointed in the outcome of what's happening. And it's really hard for me to like objectively look at things. So this is something I'm definitely working on. I'm sure you are as well. It says, acknowledge what you see objectively and stop emotional reactivity. When you respond objectively rather than react in emotions, your vibration is raised through kindness, compassion, grace, love, ease, and flow. Thinking thoughts that are aligned with those higher vibrations will help to change what is happening to you and around you in the outer world, right? Like, this is really amazing stuff here. I know it sounds like, wow, why didn't we just know this? But it feels like new information to me. To help change the world, you must choose to send love into all situations. So that's what I'm talking about, like with this unity. It's like you're sending love to one another and you're in unity, no matter what your differences are. and you're trying to come to a joint outcome where you both benefit, and where you just remove all those sharp edges. It says you can only change the world by beginning to change within yourself. Change is powerful force, and you're in charge of how change occurs through the choices you make. So, in essence, what I'm hearing from Spirit is really, and through my meditation and through these cards and this imagery, is like, take away the differences and the sharp edges and really focus on like, how are you unified and how are you trying to move forward and love and look at things through love. And when you start to look at things through a different perspective, different lens, it's no longer this you versus me kind of mentality. Instead, it's like, what's for the greater good of my own health and vibration and the world's? Like, is this what is really what's best for everyone? And when you start looking at life through that lens and release a lot of your past perceptions and or traumas about situations, instead of staying in that stuckness and frustration and victimhood, it's like, you know what? All of this had a higher purpose. And are you going to use it for the betterment of yourself and others, or are you going to stay stuck and be depressed and frustrated? You really get to make those choices. And not to say that depression is just easy to snap out of, but I'm saying, you know, we get to choose, like, are we going to seek help and to move forward in our life and try to find the positive situations and live in the light? Or are we going to stay in that like pointed triangle where we're just pitted against one another forever? So I hope we move towards love and unity, and I hope that you see that as well and you can resonate with this message. If you do, please leave some messages in the comments and like, share, subscribe to this video. I really appreciate all the love that you guys share. I am trying to grow this channel, and I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while. I have been a little under the weather and traveling a lot, so I appreciate all your love. But I hope that you move forward in love and light and unity. Until then, namaste.